Good afternoon, Pio Nation. Welcome back. I'm once again Matt Williamson. You're still watching Marietta College Esports. So, in just a few minutes, we will have our Overwatch team going up against Tiffin University as part of the consolation bracket of postseason play in the Great Lakes Esports Conference. Now, speaking of Tiffin University, they did win their match against Trine in Rocket League, so our Rocket League team will be playing against Tiffin next Saturday at 11 a.m. So please be sure to come back next Saturday to check that out. But right now, we have an Overwatch match coming to you very, very soon. So let me get the roster for you for this Overwatch team. So playing today, I'm double checking what we have here. It looks like we will have freshman Tyler Salnature Azadale. We will have freshman Quentin Shields questionably. We will have sophomore Caleb Bradley Shadow Dragon. We'll have junior Morgan White Poseidon. And we'll have, let's see here, freshman Mason Flash Harmful Hades. We'll have senior Ian Darling Brimstone. And we'll have senior Manning Shaw Granny Tsunade. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be playing what role. It looks like we'll have, I'm going to guess, Harmful Hades and questionably on tank, Shadow Dragon Azadel DPS, and Neptune Granny Tsunade at support. That's my guess. I'm probably going to be completely wrong, but we're going to find out in just a few minutes. Lobby is getting set up. It looks like the first map will be Legion Tower. Just double checking a few things here. Yeah, so we might be trying to get some other casters to help out. So, in fact, I'm going to join the Discord here because Drayton Piper will be joining us here. Alright, so hello, Drayton. Alright, let me see if I can get everything here set up so you can see the match. So you should be able to see the lobby. I'm just going to get... Okay, on now, there we go. I got to make sure that everyone else can hear you, so now everyone should be able to hear you. I think I goofed the other day in an earlier broadcast where they couldn't hear you. So now they can hear you.
Alright.
There we go. Yep, that's looking good. And let me get the Overwatch audio going. So I think, okay, so now everyone should be able to hear that. And I'm just going to go ahead and get the overlays set up here. So yeah, it looks like it's Legion Tower. So there we go. We're in the lobby. So now we're just waiting for everyone to be ready and we will be good to go. Looks like Tiffin is ready. So we'll see if Marietta is ready. I know Vincent said he was going to try to hop in, but he's having some internet issues. Everyone is ready. So here we go. Game 1 of this best of 5 series against Tiffin University.
Yeah, hopping into Legion Tower, gonna be interesting to see how each team run compositions here. Very different. There's a lot of strats that can be run, especially on this point. You could see a pharmacy come out. Could see a wide variety of strats, Lucio, ball compositions, just a lot of different strategies can go into this map. 5 seconds until we find out what each team is going to be running here. Marietta looking to run the pharmacy here with Neptune on the Pharah. Could be switching that up though. Looking like a more standard brawl composition coming out from Tiffin with the Ashe and Reaper.
Yeah, it looks
along
like...
with the Lucio Moira.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they're putting Azadale on tank. I thought maybe questionably be tanking, but I guess he's going to be DPSing. And Brimstone will lock in that Mercy, so we will see Pharmacy in play.
Yep, going to be Junkrat with the Pharmacy. A very interesting composition here. Going to be coming out. The Diva Ball dive composition going to be coming out from Tiffin. The ball is meeting in the White Room. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. Not much happening right off the bat, but both teams engaging here around the bridge, a very heavy boop area. It'll be interesting to see which Wrecking Ball could find a boop or if Neptune can find one of his own. Azadel falling very low at the beginning of the fight. He's going to pop his adaptive shield to try and sustain himself a bit longer. Questionably falling a bit low. First point controls looking like it's going to go over to Tiffin just based off of their positioning here. Neptune with a big pick off onto the Lucio. Going to be trying to capitalize on this now. Marietta going in, ball is trying to disrupt the line of Tiffin. Hades with a pick off, no healers now remain for Tiffin, although Lucio is coming back. Trades coming out, the ball is able to take down one. It's a very close fight here. Trades going each way. Marietta doesn't have any healers right now, going to be forced to back out, unfortunately. A very good start to that fight, but weren't able to capitalize on the picks early enough.
Yeah, we'll see.
As they're falling off the map there.
Yeah, I think they're just having to regroup. We're going to see them start trying to push a little bit forward, but we'll see if they can get some picks off and take the point. It's already at 45%.
Yeah, Barrage is ready. Neptune with an early pick off. They're going to take down the Baby Diva. It's going to be interesting to see how they follow up on this. They could nano Barrage here. Lots of ultimates coming online for Marietta. As I say that, Azadale falls. Very early pick off into the fight. Valkyrie's going to be popped for Marietta. The Coalescence, though, is going to take down Hades. Marietta with no DPS now. Hades falls now. It can be a very quick reset here now. Marietta still has all of their ultimates other than the Valkyrie being the only one that they popped. Marietta going to have to get some value out of this barrage if they want to keep this fight going.
Sorry I didn't get a good introduction. I finally got my internet working. But
good!
So, I'm excited to see Azadale on tank. I know he's an absolute beast on tank. I have not seen him on ball that often though. Actually, the first time I played with him was when he was playing ball and he was really good at it.
Barrage comes out, finds one. Beat came out in response. Tyre, not going to find much value. Neptune with another kill. Even trade so far, but Marietta trying to get the best of this fight here. Coming into overtime, questionably going to be switching over to the Tracer to try and stall. Brimstone falls. Azrael with a big boop off onto the Lucio. That's a big pick off. Neptune switching over to the Ashe as well, trying to get some last second stall. Azadale spinning to win on the Wrecking Ball. Gonna have to avoid that. Diva Bomb is unable to. Stall characters coming in from Marietta. Big Death Blossom there, finds one. Duat able to find another pick off, and Marietta gonna be quickly falling 100 to 0 on this first round.
Yeah, Azadale, he tried to stop his ball from rolling, and I could see that he was trying to figure out a way to avoid that Diva Bomb. The easiest way that he could have gotten out of that would have just been to keep rolling and then let his tether release and just go forward past towards that edge area that's a little bit further down the wall, which would have given him enough space to get past the Diva Bomb. But it was a really close situation. He was really worried about where the bomb was going to be and worried that if he was going to land exactly in a point where he wouldn't be able to. So he just tried to use that little space of wall that he had, and he couldn't do with the momentum the ball already had. So a little sliver of the ball allowed him to get destroyed by it. So it's a little small technical thing. He can look at it in ROD view and just think about if you need a quick escape, just try and get to a better piece of cover. Otherwise, that was really well played.
Marietta coming out with a completely different strat here. Going to be setting up the Sim TP onto the point. Going to be trying to get on that point control early. Hades is running the Reinhardt now. Azadale over onto the Stigma. Hades falling low early. Going to need to be healed up. Brimstone also running the Brigitte here. Just got recently buffed. Has 25 more HP. Going to be providing a little bit more longevity for that team. The ball comes, slams down, trying to cause some disruption as the point opens up. Both teams fighting for control of this point. The turrets still remain able to take down the Diva Mech. Granny Sonate is knocked off the point. However, Marietta is getting more picks in return. That's 4 picks for Marietta to the 1 that Tiffin has. Marietta with the early point control off the back of that teleporter. Very important there.
That was very well done. Yeah, I saw the Sim turrets, and I was like, yeah, I know those things are going to get some sort of value. They have to do something to these guys. They're not taking care of them immediately, and that's what always happens to me whenever I play this point as well. People will set those Sim turrets, and of course, it gets the Moira really low. She has to teleport away. That means less heals for them momentarily, and then the Diva is out of mech, and it's just spilled on top of each other. So that was really a good setup for the fight, and they finished off the ball in the end. So the Sim was a very good pick for that, as long as they got to the point first.
Yep, Tiffin gonna be making some adjustments here, switching over to a pharmacy of their own. The Sim wall comes out from Neptune early, able to capitalize on it and get a pick off. Res is available for Tiffin now as they have switched over to the Mercy, but Marietta getting a Diva out of mech, popping the rally to try and keep their teammates through the rest of this fight. 2 more picks go for Marietta. The Pharah ends up blowing herself up with her own rockets. And Marietta with a very dominant control of this point here right now. Very interesting switch off of the Diva to the Reinhardt. That could give the Symmetra just a lot more charge here, depending on how it's played. Very interesting compositional swap here.
Yeah, I would think that with the Diva Bomb, it's a little bit. I mean, I guess you can get good Diva Bombs on this, but there's also a lot of walls you can retreat to from behind, so it's not the easiest Diva Bombs to get off. But the Sim turrets again are just going to be really, really powerful for this. The Ryan's not going to be able to do much about him in the end. Fire strikes him.
2 ults come out immediately, finding value. The Bob in the mines with a 3K. Marietta just running into those mines. Point gets flipped over at the 87% mark. However, Marietta used no ultimates there. They have 4 ultimates coming up on this next fight, potentially 5 if Neptune can get up a big amount of charge here.
That was, yeah, the Bob Mines combo. I don't see it a lot, but it was incredibly effective there. You deny the area, and then Bob just takes down anyone trying to take down the mines. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that combo. I've never seen it that often, so very well done, very creative. I mean, maybe I just haven't seen enough competitive Overwatch gameplay to know, but that was a very well done combo. I haven't seen that often.
Ash getting 2 picks to start off this fight. Mary gonna have to regroup. Still have all of their ultimates online, potentially coming up on that rally as well. Gonna have to do something about this Pharah though, as they don't really have many counters to Pharah right now. Granny Sonade really being the only one. Azadel running on low HP, barely surviving off of his shield grasp. Marietta able to flip the point. Both healers falling to the rocket barrage. Marietta committing more ultimates here to try and sustain through this fight. It might be good enough. Marietta slowly getting the pickoffs, and with the point control, the 2K onto both healers isn't going to mean that much as they have very high sustained characters left. Marietta having 3 ultimates still, or 2 ultimates left in the bank at the very end of that round.
I really do like how they held onto that Sim the whole game, and did just use her for the teleport, because when the big shield and the big wall came up, and we're just able to utilize the turrets and as well as just use the shield for cover as he just destroying people. The Ash had no chance. It was just very easy to just stagger everyone, keep everyone off point, and it was just simple for Q to just make sure that the point was Marietta's. So very well done.
They're going to be switching off of the Symmetra now onto the Junkrat. Gonna look like a more traditional Ryan Zarya coming out from Tiffin. Rest of their composition staying the same other than the Pharah switching over to the Reaper. So Marietta running a very different comp, running the double shields with a Junkrat Reaper compared to the traditional Ryan Zarya with Junkrat Ash. It's going to be interesting to see how these team compositions work out. Brimstone flexing the pick on the onto Brigitte, but as 2 members of Marietta fall, not looking like it's going to matter too much with the compositional differences. As once you're down 2, it's not really gonna. It's already a lost fight really. Marietta losing their main tank as well. Neptune able to get a pick off before he falls as well though. Marietta is trying to get some ult charge as they're trying to leave, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt to this composition. Neptune switching over to the Ash to try and mirror the DPS line. It'll be very interesting to see if there are any other changes. Doesn't look like there's going to be. Azadel switching with sticking with the Sigma. Falling a bit low already to the poke damage of the Ash, but is going to be able to get healed up by the Ana. Quickly approaching that nano boost. The Gravitic Flux and nano boost are online, but Marietta loses 2 early in the fight, and that's going to have to be a quick reset, losing your Brig and your Reaper early on the fight. Coalescence is committed as well from Tiffin. Marietta being forced back into their spawn rooms here. Yeah,
that's, I mean, they still have ult to suspend, you know, and we do see a little early sleep on the Moira, but there's the ult economy is looking relatively even right now still. It's just waiting. Mary needs to figure out a way to just open up with something, whether you need a combo or a grab, just get something off and just move forward. That's what we need to do. Azadel
popping his Gravitic Flux, the Nano comes out onto the Reinhardt, ults flying every which way. The 3K from the Death Blossom though is going to be more than enough value to secure this team fight for Tiffin, and with Marietta, and with Tiffin coming up on the 70% marker for ult charge, Marietta's going to have to make an adjustment here. A big pickoff though with the nade, Azadel switching over to the Zarya to try and mirror the composition even more. Brimstone going over to the Lucio as well. Grav comes out. Shatter comes out to counter, though. Bob is going to be doing some damage to Biotic Orb, taking it down 2 from Marietta, and they never really had a chance here in this fight. Every single team fight began with 2 picks going the way of Tiffin, essentially, and Marietta unable to even touch the point.
Oh, that was very well done. Yeah, I mean, it was like every single fight was like even with the alt economy. It was like, well, at least what I was seeing, like Marietta was using alts while Tiffin was also using alts, and it was fine. But the alt fights were just being won, so the alt economy remained relatively even per se. It wasn't like an insane like, oh, they have 6 alts and they have 0. I mean, sort of even. They had 2 alts, we had 2 alts. So they're at a good charge. But like the alt fights in general, Marietta's alts weren't enough to counter what they had to do, and in the end, it's just 1, you know, and there's just gonna be a difference like that. So, that was just a very well decided game for Tiffin. So very well done.
Yeah, Marietta gonna have map pick going into this next map. Gonna try and rebound after that Lijiang Tower map. Be interesting to see what they pick. I believe it's hybrid, I believe, or escort is gonna be the map type. I'm not entirely sure, but we're gonna see what it is when Marietta decides what map they're gonna run out with.
I do remember seeing Epic Evan from a previous match, I believe, with because we played Tiffin before, at least last year, right, Matt? Or
yeah, we played them last year and we did beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it was their main roster or if it was their B roster. I can't remember. I think there was the roster was a little different than what we expected, so I can't remember the circumstances behind it.
And didn't we play them? And isn't this the second time we're playing them this semester?
Yes, because they did 3-0 us earlier in the semester. There were some really close matchups, but Tiffin did end up getting the win.
Mm-hmm. That's why I remember the names very well. Yeah, I'd like to see if how the gameplay has changed, at least for between the teams. I might have to go back and watch the videos for each of the games, or at least the games that where we have the same rosters relatively. But yeah, I mean, we've got those again were very close matchups. It was that previous game that we just watched 2-1, so it wasn't incredibly one-sided. So I'd like to see how, and we're on Hanamura next, it looks like. So I mean, I'm really excited to see that map. It's a really fun map to play, in my opinion. And again, although Marietta knows very well how to counter sim teleport strats, there have been some recent sim teleport strats that have been unorthodox, that have been really, really well utilized, taking this sim teleport not directly to the point but to the top left, and Marietta wasn't prepared for it, and it's a little bit more difficult for them. So they can counter sim teleports, but they got to remember to counter more than just the default sim teleport. They got to remember that there's so many more options that you can have when trying to utilize such a quick motion in the enemy team. So hopefully Marietta can adapt to that, and now that they've experienced multiple different ways a sim teleport strat can be used, I hope that they can counter effectively. And as well, if there is no sim teleport strat, then just hold the choke, you know, we'll see how it is. And then again, they most likely will be on offense, so they might actually bring in some teleport strat or not. We'll have to see with their comp if they switch anything up.
Yeah, looking like a similar composition coming out from Tiffin, with the only differences mainly being their support line going with the Ana Baptiste strat here. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Baptiste recently got some buffs as well in the newest patch, so it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out. Marietta going to be going with a Sombra Mei composition here. Mei also got some buffs, a lot of buffs coming out to the characters being used in this match so far. The Zen Ana should work well together. The Discords and the Antis just provide so much more damage to their allies. They're going through this right side, and not wanting to take some chip damage as they walk forward. 80's on the Mei, sets an early ice wall. It'll be interesting to see if Marietta can capitalize on that. And they find a pick off immediately. Marietta going to be pushing the go button now. Marietta losing their main tank, however. It'll be interesting to see if they can find any more pickoffs in this fight. Marietta trying to regroup. They do have the spawn advantage here, so losing questionably early on in the fight is going to be less impactful. As they're falling a bit low, is going to be getting healed up by his healers. Marietta immediately back into the fight. Questionably, it was back so much faster than the Reaper can be. Marietta taking down the main tank for Tiffin. Gonna be pushing the go button yet again, getting really aggressive here. Poseidon is gonna fall, but Azadel finds one. Seeing if he can find another onto the hack Zarya. Zarya's gonna be unhacked. Is gonna fall, but a big pick by Brimstone is gonna be taken down. Marietta getting a tick off at the very least. Gonna be securing 33% of permanent progress here. Marietta playing very aggressively here, but Tiffin is able to quickly adapt and push back against that quick fighting. It's kind of hard to play this aggressively when you're running the Mei Umbra, as both can set up very well for pickoffs, but don't really have the damage themselves to get those pickoffs. You gotta land a headshot with Mei to really get much value out of her. Transcendence coming out early, gonna let Marietta push up. The Graviton comes out in response. Not gonna be getting much damage off of that. The big anti-nade is gonna be followed up on. Marietta commits a grab of their own, but already down 3 is not gonna be getting much value for them. An important pick off onto the Ana there, though, at the very end of that fight.
Yeah, that was crazy with the, like, we initially had the Transcendence, which was protecting Marietta for a little while, then the grab came out, then it wasn't as safe, and then the anti was what really set in stone the initiation for the fight itself, and that really started off on a bad note for Marietta, and they just had to fall back, and even if they tried to cleanse it, it just wasn't enough with the Zarya bubbles. They just all took it out. It was a lost fight, so not much to do about it.
Neptune falling early in the fight. Tiffin gonna set out that amplification matrix to try and force Marietta back. Marietta gonna have a lot of ultimates here. Brimstone has switched over to the Moira, providing a little bit more healing than the Zenyatta can. Gonna be pushing up. Another big anti-nade comes out, anti-ing the Zarya and the Rhine. Big shatter EMP comes out. Blizzard comes out to follow up on it. Traded so far. Marietta finds two picks so far. Bob comes out onto the point from Tiffin. Marietta gonna have to respond to that. Questionably taken down immediately. Azadel avenges his fallen tank partner and finds another pick off. Marietta getting another grab there. A big quick ult charge. Marietta trying to keep the 2 remaining on point alive as the respawns come in. Marietta, a very scrappy fight there, but due to spawn advantages, the insane damage output that Azadel was able to put out, building up another grab. Marietta able to secure that fight. As I say it, 2 fall to the Reaper, committing the Death Blossom, but Marietta's tanks are back, not going to let their teammates fall without saying something of their own. A big ultimate commitment there from Tiffin, but ultimately not just going to stall a bit of time. Marietta gets the stagger picks, however, with the just losing point A, Tiffin are going to have very quick spawns. Marietta pushing on the aggression, are able to find a lot of pickoffs here, coming to the way of Marietta, committing to this fight. Nano comes out onto Azadel, going to be trying to get something done here with that, potentially build up another grab, already 70% of the way there, takes down 1, questionably takes down another of his own, make that 2. Marietta putting on the aggression here quick, taking down the immortality field, a lot of antis coming out. Marietta very quickly taking control of this second point. Marietta just turning the early staggers their way. Azadel already has another grab, able to use that. EMP comes out as well, just trying to secure this fight. Reaper does find 1. Tiffin gonna be staggering in here. Gonna be interesting to see if they can pull anything off, but with 3 more falling, they're just trying to touch, and Marietta gonna be able to take that second point incredibly quickly in about a minute.
That was really insane. When Q just threw that shatter at the very end and spawned and just charged that guy straight into it, and they threw an EMP on top of that. They just wanted to dump everything into this. They knew they were so close to capping this point. It's like, let's just get it over with. Like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that they were overcommitting all their ults just to zone Tiffin out, but it did pay off. The 2 stragglers that did get by, they were able to pick them off and secure the round.
Yeah, Marietta looking very aggressive so far on Hanamura, really just hitting the go button at any sort of slight advantage that they might have, whether it be a hack, whether it be a pickoff, whether it be a stagger. Marietta not slowing down for anything.
Yeah, like I've seen that Marietta's aggression is a lot more coordinated recently. Like they are really a lot more comfortable with pressing W. They're a lot more comfortable with just being able to trust the teammates behind them or to the side of them that they're going to heal them or they're going to cleanse them of an anti or they're going to be able to pull off an ult and there's going to be a follow up. They're a lot more comfortable with I'm going to do this. My teammates are going to follow up. I'm not going to die immediately. I know that I can rely on this because although and each and every one of their teammates is in charge of how effective they can be. This game is incredibly team-based, so being able to have that trust is a huge factor in them just being able to go, okay, we're just going to press W, and that's exactly what they do. So very well done.
Vincent, you were talking about sim teleport strategies at the beginning of the map. Now it's going to be coming out with a sim bastion, potentially from Tiffin. Very interesting composition here. Marietta going to have to respond to that teleport almost immediately. I believe they do know the sim is out as they're playing not in the choke very much, really, with only their main tank being there. A big pick off onto Neptune, though. I believe he was hooked there. Not really much you can do there. Just trying to regroup here. The teleport goes onto the high ground, not straight to point. Marietta gonna be quick, having to adjust quickly to this change of pace here and change of terrain. The enemy's now on the high ground. Marietta committing a lot here. Losing one, but are able to take down one in return, so an even fight so far for Marietta. Bastion is going to be a big problem here. Questionably already has built his shatter. He's able to get down a couple onto their backs, but the quick response going to be coming out. Marietta still trading pretty evenly here. Marietta somehow taking this fight back. Neptune with a 2K at the very end. Make that 3 from Neptune. Going to be turning that fight after falling almost immediately at the beginning of it.
I felt like, yeah, I believe Tiffin thought that fight was super winnable, and they committed a lot of stuff to it, and they did not realize how much of an issue it was to actually complete that whole fight. And with the bubble from the Zarya, like Neptune was just able to confidently get so many picks off, and they weren't expecting that. So that was a really well done shatter by Q, though. Like I can't express how good shatters are.
Grab comes out from Azadel early in this fight, trapping everybody. EMP comes out as well, just to make sure that there's no escape for Tiffin. Able to take down 2. Neptune does fall, however. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this fight is going to go. Questionably wrapping up some of the remaining opponents. The ball is going to be able to take out a pick onto Brimstone, however. Going to be a late stagger coming out, but a complete composition change as well. Granny Sonate falling, however, is not going to be good for Marietta. They're going to have to rely exclusively on the Zenyatta heals, as Tiffin might want to push the aggression here, knowing that they can only potentially have one healer. However, the Shatter comes out, finding at least 2. Questionably is going to fall. They're going to wrap up the 2 picks. However, it's a pretty even fight so far here. Marietta trying to regroup, are going to be unable to, and Tiffin going to be looking to be in a good position to take this first point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on in the back line, but, you know, Granny Sonata just sort of fell to the Lucio, and then Lucio was counterpicked, but at the same time, it's Lucio. He's going to be back in like 5 seconds. Granny Sonata, Ana's not going to be back that fast, especially considering the spawn differential. So, like, I completely see that could be a very bad trade in terms of that, and that's probably the reason why the heals weren't as effective at all in that fight.
Azrael going to be falling early. The Blizzard going to be coming out in response to that, able to take down DeWatt. Immediately taking down the main tank, able to take down one more. An interesting Transcendence usage here. I'm not sure how necessary that was, but with Marietta having 4 more ultimates in the bank, probably not going to matter too much that they use that. However, there's not really many ultimates coming up that could be used that could be countered by the Transcendence. Potentially the Minefield, potentially the Reaper ultimate, but no big ultimate really that the Transcendence should be saved for. Neptune coming up again on an EMP. Going to be interesting to see how that's used. If Marietta wants to put on the aggression here, get an early grab off, try and force out the beat, Neptune can immediately cancel that with the EMP. So Marietta has a lot of work with here with those 4 ultimates that they still have. Questionably pushing the aggression. Going to immediately use the grab. Is going to force out the Coalescence instead, and not going to be enough to save the main tank. However, Marietta does lose 2 early on. The point is going to be slowly taken by Tiffin, but Marietta quickly making some adjustments to get back there. Nano Boost used onto the Reinhardt, able to take down the Reaper. Bob comes out onto the point. Neptune's going to be taken down, and so is Azadel. Marietta going to have to bounce back here. Brimstone getting a much-needed pick onto the Wrecking Ball. Questionably swinging away, trying to get some ult charge. The big freeze onto the D.Va. Switching up. The big shatter coming through from Questionably. Beat comes out as well. The EMP is going to cancel it, however. No more beat shields for the side of Tiffin. Marietta quickly responding with a lot of aggression there. Throwing out another Transcendence. Finishing up 2 kills. Only giving up a tick and a half there to Tiffin. Merida now in a very good position here. Coming up on 2 big ultimates here.
I'm really surprised that now they have a time advantage as well with the amount of time they've already wasted. So they have given up a tick, like you said, but they can hold this out pretty well. So they're already doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, and if Marietta can at the very least force Tiffin to capture in overtime, they have a win condition set up. If Tiffin finishes with any time left on the time bank, they're gonna have a minute to attack on their own. But Marietta is guaranteed a second attack here. Tiffin coming down the main hallway here. The Blizzard comes out right onto that bridge, going to be catching out at least the main tank, going to be taking him down immediately. The Reaper comes in from behind, is able to take down one, but Neptune quickly takes him down in return. Merida has a 1-man advantage here, and Tiffin going to be forced to head backwards here. Merida coming up on some more ultimates here. The Nano, the Grav, the Shatter. Potentially going to be able to get up to another Transcendence and EMP here at the end of this fight. Merida going to have a lot going in their favor here.
You're probably going to see a Bob be attempted by a Bob and a Beam just trying to be attempted by Tiffin to just get something off because they are pretty close to that. If you see them taking mid though.
Yep, heading down yet again down to the main pathway here. Merida diving from the high ground. Azrael taken down early. That's not what you want to see from Marietta. Nanoboost comes out onto the Reinhardt. Is not going to be able to save him though. 3 fall for Marietta. Make that 4. 19 seconds left. Tiffin is going to capture with just enough time to force a 3rd and 4th round here.
Yeah,
Marietta does get a bit extra time, but ultimately not being able to force overtime at least is going to be come back to harm Marietta here.
Yeah, like I said, like there's the Bob and the Beam, and it just worked out very well. The Bob is going to be able to aimbot anyone that isn't sitting behind a shield, and in terms of the Beam, it just keeps everyone alive, and it was a good combo. They worked with what they had, they made do, and that's exactly what happened. So very well done.
I think the pickoff onto Azadel there is really what won the fight for Tiffin. Having the grab, unable to use it, being able to get the grab off, and then just nanoing the Reinhardt so we can build up that shatter incredibly quickly. Could have potentially turned that fight for Marietta, but able to focus down Azadel early, taking him out before he can get the grab off is going to be very big in the long run.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
They're going to be running the same defensive strategy here. Tiffin going to be running the same offensive strategy that they had on after the first fight on first and through the entirety of second. So Marietta going to be dealing with a comp that they've dealt with for the majority of this match. Although, as I say that, the May Reaper comes out, as I say that they switch over back to the composition that they were running originally. So not much changing here. It just has to hold for 1 minute though. The May and the Somber are gonna be very good at stalling that time. Alright, playing very safely here. They know that a SimTP could be coming out. However, not gonna be likely. The tanks are gonna be switching over to dive tanks here, going with the ball. D.Va gonna be trying to take quick control of this left room, and they do. Merida gonna be pincering from both sides with the Reinhardt and the Zarya rotating entirely down the right side. However, they do lose their D.Va mech. However, both healers fall from Merida, and two big parts of Merida fall. A team kill gonna be coming out. A very well executed rotation there from Tiffin, and not being able to hold that 19 seconds are really gonna be making this a lot more difficult for Marietta, as they now have to capture a first point and a tick of second at the very least to be able to win this match. Marietta Tiffin only having 20 seconds to be able to capture this second point, just trying to get as much percentage as they possibly can, building up some of their ultimates, but not going to have enough to really have an impact on this team fight. Marietta coming in, going to be important that they don't lose anybody early on in this team fight. Big Shatter comes out. That could be exactly what Marietta needs to push on. That is the go button. D.Va comes out of mech, but 2 fall for Marietta. The Blizzard is available, going to throw that out. Able to take down 3. Are Marietta going to be able to get the res off onto Questionably? That could be what they need to turn this fight. Hack comes out onto the Reaper, is going to be unable to do anything. EMP comes out in response. Marietta going to be able to hold, no ticks gained for Tiffin on point B.
That was absolutely crazy. Like, I do like to see that, like, just all after all, just making sure that, like, there was absolutely no chance that Tiffin was going to be able to capture that. And now Marietta is going to have 2 minutes 57 seconds to have an attack of their own, I believe. So that's going to be really interesting to see. And like, I just love how, like, the res came off one of the Ryan, which was just so helpful, as well as just the Blizzard, and then the hack. It was just the EMP. It was just very well done.
Every ult essentially used by Marietta as a cooldown. As soon as it's off of that cooldown, Shatter comes out, then the Blizzard, then the EMP at perfect timing there for Marietta to be able to capitalize off of it to the fullest extent. That's what good ultimate economy will do for you. Marietta had a clear ultimate advantage going into that last fight. Tiffin didn't really have that many ultimates in their bank. Marietta able to capitalize off the ults that they did have and win that team fight off of it. Very interesting comp is going to be coming out, however, from Tiffin. Going to be running a Ryan Zarya, and a Pharmacy as well. Going to be interesting to see how this works on first point. Marietta going to have to switch up their comp unless they're able to get a May headshot, or if Zarya is able to beam down the Pharah, as there aren't really many counters that Marietta has to the Pharmacy in this comp. Marietta coming out with more of the same, exactly what they expected to be running out. Azadel falling low early is going to need to be healed up by his teammates. Going to be getting that healing. Marietta pushing into this main choke point. Neptune getting some early EMP charge. But I was going to have to do something about this Pharah. Taking the high ground, going to be just harassing the Pharah. Is going to take down the May, however, and that is the big crux of this offense here for Marietta. Getting up a big May wall to be able to force Tiffin to potentially sacrifice a member. Neptune is putting some pressure onto point. Going to be teleporting out. However, that point pressure is going to be enough as Duat falls. Marietta putting the go button on here. Not even having to deal with the Pharmacy as they have taken out both tanks. Neptune able to take down the Pharah. Rez is going to come out onto the Pharah, but 4 other members have fallen in that time span. Marietta quickly taking control of this first point off of an amazing distraction by Neptune to just force the rest of Tiffin back, and Marietta able to capitalize by taking down Dewat.
That's very well done. Yeah, like the pick that Azadel got, that's all they needed, and they just pressed W. That's exactly what they did. It was really close for Neptune too, because he was antied and he was really low. He was just able to press E at the exact same time that he needed to just get out of there, and that's all they needed to do is distract the healer. There you go.
Marietta coming up on some crucial ults. A big hack coming out onto Dewat. Could be what Marietta needs to get this fight going. Nano Boost does come out. An early pickoff though. The Shatter comes out in response. EMP though comes out as well. Marietta committing a lot to this fight. Has a lot going their way. But the grab comes out. Marietta could still be winning this team fight. It's very even so far. Each team getting pickoffs. Forcing a lot out from Marietta though. Marietta still finding the picks off of the back of Neptune. This still could be their team fight to win. They just need to deal with this Wrecking Ball. Sombra gets the hack off onto it, and that could be big. The Monkey comes out as well, but Sombra falls before being able to get off the hack. And Marietta not likely going to be able to take this first point, or this tick immediately.
Yeah, the respawn.
A very promising team fight for Marietta there, just completely shut down, unfortunately.
Like I will say, like the respawn advantage was a huge factor there. Like just Tiffin being able to get back so fast, like it was still really in Marietta's favor because of how long it takes for Marietta's teammates to get back after dying. The respawn advantage is going to really hurt them in that fight, so that's all that really was a big factor there for trying to just stop them and deny them.
Marietta committing a lot there, but still have 3 ults coming online. Gonna have the Grav, the Coalescence, the Blizzard, and then potentially gonna be able to build up their Shatter off the back of those ultimates. So Marietta in a very good position here to still get this point. Immediately engaging with the Coalescence, but Neptune falls early. Not exactly what you want from Marietta. 2 ults come out, however, in response. Marietta committing the Blizzard though. Bob comes out. Marietta has made this a pretty chippy fight so far, being able to take down 1, but it's looking like more and more that this map is going to go to a draw as Marietta quickly lose members. Neptune going to have to be in a position to touch here. If anybody is going to be able to do it, it's going to be him. Is able to get the touch, but is going to trade his life for it. Marietta not having anybody else in position to touch, and it's going to be a draw.
Well,
Marietta losing that fight in the last 19 seconds of that second point hold was what cost him that fight. Really, Marietta was in a very good position outside of that, and giving Tiffin just time to have a second push is what ended up being the downfall here. As without that second push, Marietta would have easily won that map.
and yeah, like for when the Rhine was antied towards that last fight that Marietta could have won, I saw that I didn't know if Asdale had already used his friendly bubble. He very well could have, but if he hadn't, that would have been a really good opportunity for him to just bubble his Rhine and just give him a little bit of a cleansing on the anti. But he could have used his friendly bubble already, and that's understandable. But I'm not able to tell if it was on cooldown or not, or I might have to go back and watch and see if he had already really recently used it. But that would have helped the Rhine last a little bit longer. But in the end, the lost team fight there was really difficult for Marietta to come back from. So a draw is a draw. So very well done by both teams. That's all it really means. No one could really get a leg up.
Yeah, Marietta again not being able to stall that last 19 seconds is coming back to be the thing that ends up ruining that map for them. Had a very dominant attack. We're likely going to be able to take that first tick no matter what, and Marietta, because they let Tiffin have another attack where they were able to get first point, Marietta unable to capitalize on a very winnable game there. Looking like halftime is going to be coming up, calling for a 5-minute break. So potentially going to be heading into one of our own here.
Yeah, so we'll just give them a chance to take a small breather as they try to set up game 3. As a reminder, we will have our League of Legends match after this. We're trying to see if we can start the match a little bit later, because it looks like this match might go over, but if we have to start the League of match sooner, we're probably going to have to switch to it because it is our main playoff match. So there is a possibility we might have to cut. Well, actually, they're saying we might have some time. So we might be able to finish up the Overwatch match before going to the League of Legends match. So that's good to hear. I'm glad. I was a little concerned about whether we were going to broadcast both of our Overwatch match and League of Legends match without cutting into one or the other. We had to do that earlier in the season. But at least we can get. So it looks like we'll be able to do both. But right now, I'm just trying to take care of it at the same time. So everyone should be coming back pretty soon. Just give everyone a chance, a little breather after a very close, exciting match that went, I should say map that went back and forth. All right, I think we're just getting rosters swapped up. Brimstone is on our League of Legends team, so he's getting things set up for their match with Trine.
Shadow Dragon going to be coming in for Brimstone, likely going to mean that Neptune is going to be moving back to support position, and Shadow Dragon is going to be taking over the DPS responsibilities here.
Yep, sounds good. It's always great to see that because Shadow Dragon's one of our DPS players, so we'll give him a chance to play and see what map we're gonna be on next. Really good performance so far. Like, we have lost one to Tiffin, but we also have a draw, so Marietta is definitely not out so far. And even if they had lost two, it still is completely not over. So we will see how it goes.
Yeah, I believe Escort and Hybrid are going to be the next two map types coming up. Looks like King's Row is going to be called from Marietta as the map pick. So a very classic map here. So Marietta, going to be interesting to see what they run out here with. Going to be the Halloween version of the map, likely. Me coming out.
Okay, wait, so time out. We're doing a Winter Kings Row on Halloween.
I don't
Yes.
know. Is that the?
It's pretty much winter.
I mean, I've heard of Christmas in July, but I mean, come on. Let's get through Thanksgiving before we start talking about the winter season.
I mean,
We're not-
it's snowing in New England, right? I think I saw that on the internet somewhere that it's already snowing in places. So
It's the okay side to just put up all the Christmas decorations.
I like Brimstone could be coming back in though. So Shadow Dragon may be swapped out again, potentially.
Oh, Shadow Dragon taken from his throne, but we'll see Brimstone back in, and Brimstone has been doing some really good beams so far with Moira. He's insane on the Moira. I do like Moira as well. I haven't been playing her that much recently, but I have seen that she's heavily in the meta right now. So, although I usually do play a lot of Bap and Lucio, I've been playing her a little bit more, and she is a lot of fun. I just feel like I get more fun out of different characters, but again, she's really, really viable, so give a lot of heals.
Alright, and we're going to be entering Winter's King's Row here. Winter Wonderland in October. The spookiest thing about this map is that we're talking about Christmas right now on a Halloween, so
I know it just feels weird. Like, I know a lot of the department stores have Christmas decorations and everything set up already, even though it's just now Halloween. But yeah.
yeah, Marietta gonna be on the attack here. Interesting to see how this goes. Neptune gonna be coming out on the Widowmaker and try and potentially get a pick off here. Similar compositions coming out from Tiffin. Gonna be running the same tank and DPS lines that we've seen throughout when they're going with this more brawl composition. But Anna Baptiste coming out as well. Gonna be interesting to see how these compositions go against each other. We got Mercy and Anna coming out from Marietta. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Potentially switching off of the Widowmaker after taking a shot or two. It's potentially something that can Ash, maybe a Pharah. Pharah can work on this first point though.
1. Attackers incoming.
Coming out the gaze, can be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Neptune looking for an opening pickoff, is not going to be able to find one, drops down. Trying to rotate here. Switching over to the Moira off of the Mercy, so just seeing if they could get some damage boost out. Brimstone gonna be forced to use the Bionade onto himself to try and keep himself alive. They're rotating through this left hotel, trying to give Neptune some space to shoot. Questionably getting in the thick of things early on, already halfway to his ultimate. Is gonna fall, however, very early, but 2 picks go the way of Marietta. Azadil able to avenge his fallen teammate. Neptune has room to shoot, and he's going to take those shots all day, every day. Able to take down the Zarya. Azrael able to take down one more. Another shot coming out from Neptune before he is taken out. The fragging Ana here coming out is going to be taken down, however, before things go too far. Reinhardt going to be coming out, so Marietta potentially going to be able to get some more ultimate charge off of this. Immortality Field comes out as well. Marietta can have a good chance here to stagger once they capture this point. The Reinhardt is going to have a very long walk back to his team. Marietta putting themselves in a very good position here. Grav coming out early. Marietta wanting to push up on the aggression here. Able to find 2 off the back of it. Make that 3. Make that 4. Big team fight win. 5 kills off the back of that Graviton Surge. Azrael getting very aggressive there, but it's going to pay off.
Yeah, they're just pushing Tiffin way back to buy him a ton of space as Anna just stays back to push the payload.
Yeah, that's the benefit of this Moira Ana composition. Moira can sustain the team pretty effectively on her own, and especially with this Coalescence online, Marietta could push the aggression even further here. They have the Shatter ready, they have Infra Sights almost, so Marietta going to be looking to get some aggression here, although big ultimates coming out from Tiffin. Going to be able to take down 4 of Marietta. But Marietta able to get a lot of progress on that first fight. Brimstone getting a cheeky sleep as he's exiting, just to annoy the Reinhardt a little bit. Marietta coming back. They have 5 ultimates online already, as they're going to also be able to charge up his Graviton Surge very quickly as well. Sights coming out just to give Marietta the advantage of knowing where everybody is. Coalescence comes out quickly afterwards, trying to put some pressure onto this Reinhardt. Nano comes out onto the Rhine. Big Anti comes out into the grab. Going to take down both tanks of Marietta. Neptune able to find a pick off here. Marietta still in this fight, but not as in control of it as they would like to be. Neptune is going to fall. Hades is going to be trying to escape. And Marietta going to be losing that team fight, even though they invested some significant ultimates there. Marietta still have 2 online, though, to counter the 2 that are online for Tiffin, as it'll still building up that ultimate. Switching over to the Sombra now. The Widowmaker pick has run her course. Switching back actually to the Widowmaker now. So trying to see if they can get some more value off that. Hades drops his ultimate. Bob is coming out. Picks going each way, but big ultimates coming out are able to force more out from Tiffin. Marietta losing 3 early in that fight, even though Neptune was able to get the opening pick off there. Marietta have their grab and shatter though. Coalescence coming online, Nano Boost halfway to being there. Marietta still are in very good positions for this team fight, and Tiffin really only has 2 ultimates coming up with the Death Blossom and the Window. Window coming out early to try and potentially get a pick off. Shatter comes out, is going to be blocked though. Grab comes out, catching most of Tiffin. Questionably is going to fall early on in this team fight though. Marietta finds 2 though, so still in control of this fight. Make that 3. Azadil getting another pick. 4 members of Marietta there getting the final blows there. Azadil getting another pick off there. Team kill bell does ring. Marietta should be able to get this cart pushed into the second point without any more contention. Marietta also switching over to the Brigitte here off of the Ana. Going to be trying to go for more of a in-your-face style of play here. Marietta likely going to be able to get this point without Tiffin being able to touch, although they are able to touch it. 1 meter remaining. Graviton comes out, are able to take down the Brigitte. Questionably with a huge fire strike, finding 2 is going to be taken down, however. Death Blossom comes out, finding another kill. Marietta so close to capping that cart. If they had kept 3 on cart at all times, that probably would have been captured, but having only 2 on for the majority of that team fight, or for the majority of that push, is likely going to come back to haunt Marietta.
Yeah, they got just a little overconfident there, and Tiffin punished that.
Yeah, you can push up and create space, but when you know you're going to be able to capture with 3 on cart, you kind of have to force that there's at least 3 members on cart at all times. Neptune could have sat back on cart, just sitting there, potentially seeing if he could get an angle. Big hack comes out onto the Reinhardt, are able to quickly follow up on that. Looking like it's not going to be causing Marietta too many sleepless nights. Coming out with the big Coalescence. Bob comes out in response. Big Graviton comes out. Azadil finds 2 off the back of it. Marietta fighting their way up. Bob not able to contest the point. Really only Lucio remaining is going to be quickly wrapped up there for Marietta, only costing them 1 team fight. So Marietta not losing much sleep over that.
Yeah, that's great, you know, like getting the card to the point finally to get everything done. Now they just need to push it that 1 last remaining area that we need to go to, the last point, and then that'll be the great setup for them for the next round. And like, again, it's putting up a great fight. Marietta.
Chatter comes out, a bigger one comes back in response from Questionably. Marietta going off here with their ultimates, able to find 2 in response to the loss of 1 in Poseidon. Rally coming out as well, providing armor for the rest of the team. Marietta quickly pushing up, and Marietta quickly able to take the team fight, keeping 2 on cart to get the push in as fast as possible, getting the 3rd on. Big pickoff coming out from Azadil. Big ultimate coming out from Hades, trying to just zone out the rest of the cart. 0.17 meters remaining. Graviton comes out, followed up by the Death Blossom from Tiffin. Is not going to be enough, however, only finds 1. Marietta rolling through this 3rd point. Taking it in less than a minute, I believe.
Yeah, that's just
7 remaining. So
yeah, very good ult usage. I mean, the advantage that Marietta had 3 ults ready to go, and I don't think Tiffin had anything ready, and Marietta was able to properly utilize those ults to just keep moving that card over.
Marietta gonna have to carry that momentum forward here onto this defense. Had a very good offense at times where Tiffin was able to slow them down, but Marietta picked it back up like they didn't even lose the last team fight. So Marietta has a lot of momentum going their way here. It's gonna be interesting to see what each team comes out with here. Potentially a dive composition coming out from Tiffin. So very interesting compositional switch here. Marietta has run similar comps on Kings Row before and it has worked, but Marietta is very adept at facing dive composition, so it's going to be interesting to see how that worked out. Marietta going to be running out with more of the same as they used to pick off that third point. Tiffin not making any adjustments yet, so could potentially be seeing this dive composition coming out. Zepsi seems to really like this wrecking ball pick, so going to be coming out on this composition. Marietta going to be setting up around the hotel, not giving themselves much space to take poke damage from. Marietta looking to defend here. Tiffin taking that high ground positioning almost immediately. Not spotting the translocator that Neptune has in place up there, though. It'd be a very long wraparound, and if this is what I think it is, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to try a bamboozle type strategy here with potentially the Reaper sitting back in spawn to switch to Widowmaker, but just trying to take the high ground here. Marietta going to be in an awkward position here to try and defend, but with this composition, it's not like Tiffin can really do much to cause Marietta to lose point control here unless they get a pick off here. And there's not many pick potential heroes on this composition. Dive does come down. Hack comes out onto the wrecking ball. Azrael's gonna fall quickly. Neptune taken off quickly as well. Marietta quickly getting dove from the high ground here. That's exactly what this composition needs to do. Marietta losing 3 early on in that team fight is not going to be looking good for them. Make that 5 members down for Marietta. It's just going to be a matter of time before Tiffin now captures this point now.
Yeah, it looks like the strategy was just trying to confuse Marietta, get them spread out, and Azadale kind of went around the side of the hotel, and that was the opportunity that Tiffin needed to pick him off, and it was go mode.
Neptune now alone on point, able to take down the alone Moira on the point as Tiffin were trying to push up. Marietta now has 2 picks. If they're able to touch here, this could be a potential recontest. This is going to be absolutely insane for Marietta if they pull it off, and they are going to, taking down more and more members of Tiffin. Able to find 2 as Azadale, absolutely on fire today. Does somebody have a fire extinguisher nearby, because he needs it?
Yeah, credit goes to Neptune for just being able to go in and just stall the cap, forcing Tiffin to retreat, and Marietta was able to follow suit and retake control.
That was super close.
Absolutely massive coordination there from Marietta, forcing Tiffin back, and then Neptune just being able to touch. EMP comes out, finds all 6 members of Tiffin. That's absolutely massive value from the EMP. No member with abilities. Marietta quickly wrapping up that team fight, and being able to retake that first point is going to be an absolute massive momentum shift for Marietta.
Again, that final tick was super close. Like, I'm still just amazed that was able to happen. And when Neptune first got off the point, they were still able to try and take the point initially, but then Neptune came back and touched just before that tick was able to finish it off. So that was a really good reach test.
Yeah, Tiffin got up to 98.9%. Mines are coming out. Now questionably going to be playing Minesweeper with his shield. Is going to be forced to lose it. Neptune does fall questionably as well. Looking like they're finally going to be able to take this point, but Azadale and Hades are like, not yet. Brimstone finds a pick as well. Marietta, again, taking victory from the jaws of defeat there. Absolutely massive plays there.
It's like another...
Less than a minute left, too.
Yes.
Now only 2 ultimates on the side of Tiffin, and Marietta has 2 to fight back with. The Diva Bomb could be big here, but with as much cover as Marietta has, it's gonna be hard to find some value out of that, especially now that he's hacked up. The Graviton comes out offensively, just trying to distract Tiffin. Bomb comes out, finds no one, being used now to engage. Marietta does have the uncontested shatter, finds 5, absolutely massive there from questionably, able to take Diva to mech. ults coming out from the side of each team now, however, and it looks like Tiffin's gonna be able to find the better of this team fight, however. Finally able to capture it in overtime, but absolutely massive stalls there from Marietta. And Neptune already has another EMP. He had it last fight, was able to build it up just in that fight alone. Marietta in a very strong position to recontest on these points with only 2 minutes to take the cart along one of the farthest routes in the game. If Marietta can get a very big team fight win here, it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out for them. Tiffin pushing up very aggressively here with only 2 on cart for trying to create space for the team. Azadel finds one, however, that's not exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of Tiffin. Marietta pushing up, get the Diva out of mech. Wrecking Ball drops the mines, but that might not be enough. Questionably has fallen. Azadel falls quickly afterwards. Epic Van is just absolutely on fire right now, getting 3 picks there. What looked like a good fight from Marietta early on there is going to quickly turn against them. Zesty is going to be switching over to the Hog now, but Epic Evan finds 2 more there.
Yeah, that Blossom was just super effective in just getting that final. There we go.
Marietta contesting at the last second here. Big grab comes out. Coalescence finds one, questionably just swinging away. Builds up his own shatter. It'll be interesting to see how that goes for them. Because it's going to fall, however, before he can get it off. Nano Boost is available. EMP comes out, finds 5 members. However, the bomb is going to take down 1. Marietta, Hades comes back with a 2K on his own Death Blossom. Absolutely massive there from him. Able to swing that fight. And with 40 seconds remaining, it's going to be a long walk back to the point.
And also the fact that Tiffin only has Coalescence up, but Nano Ryan ults are ready to go for this next fight. It might be enough to hold off and get a win for the Pioneers.
Azadel already 70% on his grab as well after just using it to engage that fight. Absolutely massive ult building there from him.
And like, I guess like the huge theme is like Marietta just recontest at the very last second for both of these points.
Shatter comes out, is not going to find much there. Nano still comes out onto the Reinhardt, however. Azadel almost has his grab. The Diva comes out of mech. The grab is going to be essentially free here as long as he can find a big clump of people. Coalescence comes out, not enough to save questionably. However, Neptune falls as well. Grab comes out. Azadel finds 1 in response. 2 more fall for Tiffin. Make that 3. Marietta cleaning up off the back of the quickly charged Graviton Surge. 5 kills off the back of it. And Marietta are going to be taking King's Row in dominant fashion.
Very well done.
Marietta taking their first map so far. Azadel rightfully getting this play of the game. Potentially the one at the very end here. It's going to be one of the aggressive push-ups, though. Absolutely massive grab, just creating all the space that they needed to get that quick second point capture with 5 kills coming off the back of that.
Yeah, like at that last fight, like we were just waiting for that grab to come out, and it finally came out at the very end, and then 3 kills happened almost instantaneously, and the Reaper held on for a little bit longer, and then finally the point was just taken by Marietta. Just very well done. That was such a close, like it's still just insane how close that was for Marietta, but they were just barely able to recontest towards the very end of each of those points, and they just held on to it very well. Like they just had a plan for it, and they were able to just take advantage of it. Just very, very, very well done by Marietta. They definitely deserve that win.
Tiffin now will have the opportunity to pick a map. I believe Escort is up next, and going to be interesting to see what they go here.
Yes, I know there's some people who are joining in Twitch, probably waiting for the League of Legends match against Trine. We will have that to you after our Overwatch match against Tiffin. Trine has agreed to wait for the Overwatch to finish. So a shout out to Trine for being accommodating, so that way we can finish up the Overwatch match for you guys. You can see it, and then you can see the exciting League of Legends match. So please, I want to thank Trine for being patient with us as we're having a very, very close match here with Tiffin. I mean, 1 apiece, and we already had a draw in map 2, so this can really be anyone's games, because now this has turned into a best of 3. We'll just to see what Tiffin decides to go with for map 4.
Yep, it is going to be Escort. We've seen some very interesting Escort maps come out from Marietta, getting the rare draw on Dorado a couple weeks ago, I believe. So really anything could happen here. Going to be interesting to see what they pick, though.
Yeah, in fact, we'll just go into the lobby while we're waiting for who's going to be picking what.
It's going to be Havana coming out, a very dominant sniper map. Going to be expecting to see Neptune pull out the Widowmaker again. Was able to do a lot there on Kings Row first and second, so going to be interesting to see how this works out.
That's right, yeah, Marietta gets to pick the side, so we'll see if they try to go on offense or defense first.
Been on offense all day, and it's been working out pretty well for them. So might be switching it up here, might not be. Going to be interesting to see if they end up switching it.
And they want to go defense.
They're going to want defense first here on Havana.
Which means we'll go ahead and swap the overlay here too. There we go. Which kind of makes sense, because like, if you feel really good about if you really feel good about being on defense, if you can get a hold in the first round, then that's going to set you up for round 2, because then if you can just take an extra point or so forth, you can take the map pretty easily. Or I shouldn't say easily, but quickly.
Traveling to Havana.
As we're entering Havana, going to be interesting to see what each team comes out with here. Going to be expecting Neptune on the Widowmaker, potentially seeing DVNX on the Widowmaker as well.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30
Pretty
seconds.
standard comp coming up from Marietta based on what we've seen so far. Pretty similar comp coming out from Tiffin as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how much value this Widowmaker is going to get.
Wait, I think I saw. Did someone want to pause? Yeah, I think. I'm not too sure what happened there. If there was a disconnect or something went on.
I think Asdale needed a break for a second. He needed to do something.
Okay.
He was trying to type in chat.
All right, so we'll give him a second to take care of whatever it is he needs to do.
While we wait, I guess we can analyze the team comps coming out from each side. Marietta going with what has largely been working for them all day, the Ryan Zarya, with Neptune on a comfort pick, whether it be the Widowmaker or the Sombra. Lots of pick potential coming out from this team from Marietta, with the Zenyatta able to just effectively act as a third DPS for Marietta. And then with Tiffin's composition, more of the same. Going to be expecting DeWatt to potentially switch, or they could be running a hybrid dive comp here with potentially a 3-man dive unit and a 3-man more bunker slash pit, bunker or poke composition with the remaining half of the team. So it's going to be interesting to see if there are going to be switches coming out, or if it's going to be a weird hybrid composition coming out from Tiffin.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this play out. A couple interesting points with this is Zebsy, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is still sticking with the Wrecking Ball. Yeah, he's been playing very well with that, and it is a champion that Marietta has struggled to be able to counter against. So we'll see if that plays a factor. And we do see Neptune on the Widowmaker, so I mean, this is a really good sniper map on defense. So we'll see if he can get some really good plays early on. Technically, we kind of like a triple sniper here going on with both Zenyatta and Ana at support.
Pause is going to be ending here. Going to be interesting to see if there are any changes coming out. Looking like both teams sticking with what they have. Neptune taking that high ground position, looking for early pickoffs here. Widowmaker did recently get nerfed to where she only has 175 health now compared to the 200. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays into things. Early dive comes out, and you can see just immediately taken down by the combination of the Ana and the Wrecking Ball. Marietta now down their main pick potential here. Brimstone looking to be falling a bit low here too. But Marietta able to come back. As I say, that questionably does fall. Are going to have to find a pickoff or two of their own here. Brimstone does fall as well. Marietta not looking in a good position to hold this point as the aggression coming out from Tiffin is forcing them all the way back into second point. Neptune switching off of the Widowmaker onto the Sombra, just not going to be able to get much done against this Wrecking Ball, especially with the health nerf. Zephy going to be switching over to the off of the ball to the Zarya now that Neptune is back into the Sombra position. A quick charge comes out, taking out questionably harmful. Hades falls immediately afterwards. Not looking very good for Marietta on this first point hold. Just unfortunate timing there. Questionably dropping right into the waiting charge of DeWatt. Marietta going to be forced to head back quite a bit now. Azel trying to get something done here. Is 63% to that grab, so it could be a big combination with the Death Blossom, which is at a similar percentage as well. Marietta playing a bit safe here. DeWatt comes out with a big shatter. I don't think Questionably was expecting it to be up that soon. A charge comes out. Questionably, however, is going to be living through that, so unfortunate positioning there from DeWatt. Was expecting to be able to quickly wrap up the kill unquestionably, but the pocketing coming in from Brimstone's healing. Zarya coming out with the Graviton Surge. Hades gets a kill as well. Questionably falls. Bob comes out. Is going to be able to take down Hades as well. Very back and forth fight here. Azadale able to get another pickoff, however. Zephy does find the counterpart in Azadale. Marietta forced back quite a bit here. Coalescence does come out from Brimstone. Marietta going to have a lot of ultimates here on this re-engage if they so choose to engage here. Neptune falling a bit low, however. Going to be interesting to see how he plays around this low health situation. Questionably looking to get a shatter, is going to be getting nano boosted here. Shatter comes out, finds two potentially. Marietta quickly wrapping up off the back of it, however questionably does fall at the very end of this fight. DeWatt gets hacked up, but Granny Sonata falls as well. Marietta in a very scrappy fight so far. Another pick goes the way of Tiffin. Marietta loses one more. Marietta able to get a pick off, however. Another Graviton Surge up for Marietta. However, Azrael's going to fall before he gets the chance to use it. A very back and forth fight here, but it looks like Tiffin is going to be getting the better of it here. Hades pulls out his ultimate here. This could be big, however, it's going to be taken down before he can get any value out of it. Marietta just forcing to be reset here. And look at that ult bank that Tiffin has built up throughout that. Marietta used a lot of their ultimates during that team fight, but now Tiffin has 4 of their own with 2 more over that halfway mark. Marietta looking to hold this corner. Sleep comes out, is going to find the Moira. The big sleep there from Granny Sonate. Marietta unable to capitalize off of it, however. Grab comes out. Going to be interesting to see how Marietta follows up on this. Crowner grab comes out, able to capture 2 of Marietta's. The big nano boost comes out, finding 2. Shatter comes down as well, making it a 3rd pickup kill. Poseidon falls as well, as it was only able to trade out 1 in that fight there. Marietta forced to retreat quite a bit here back into their own spawn doors as 4 members of Tiffin are pushing up. Azael is going to fall as well. Big stagger there, trying to hold the spawn doors of Marietta here, or Tiffin. Coalescence comes out from both sides. Big EMP comes out, however, catching 4 members. Marietta able to capitalize off of it, taking down 2. The Death Blossom finds nothing for Tiffin, and Marietta now has themselves in a good advantageous ult advantage here.
Yeah, that was a huge denial on the redraw right there. That's gonna be really helpful for that for Marietta right now. That's gonna be really useful to just utilize the ult economy to make stuff a lot easier for him.
Marietta were able to cancel 2 ultimates there, the Coalescence with the EMP, and then killing the Reaper before the Death Blossom got any value. So a very good swing of ultimates there from Marietta. Now switching back over to the Wrecking Ball is Zipsy. Neptune also switching back over to the Widowmaker after the EMP comes out. Bob comes out into the backline of Marietta, going to be causing some pressure. Azadel does fall, as well as Neptune. Just that health nerf is just so massive here. Epic Evan is going to be cleaning up the backline of Marietta. Questionably able to take down one. Could be big on the stall attempt, but he is going to fall shortly after, as well as Tsunade. Marietta going to have to do something massive here. They do have a Shatter, they do have a Reaper Death Blossom. They also are coming up on a Graviton Surge of their own. So lots of ultimates here for Marietta to capitalize on. Grav comes out, Marietta trying to capitalize off of it. Shatter comes out, puts Questionably on his back. He's not going to be able to use his own Shatter. His Shatter comes out, finds a couple, but it's not going to be enough. Brimstone takes down one, but the rest of his team is falling, and they aren't going to be able to touch that cart. With the big time break of 202, Tiffin is going to be finishing the map.
Yeah, that was just really good dominance. Like that was really well done. Q tried to get a Shatter off. He was really trying to charge into the team. He knew that he had to get this off to contest them, and he tries to use it, and then he gets one person, but that person's also a little bit body blocked by his teammates, so you can't really get a lot of capitalization off of that. And previously, before the Ryan hit that Shatter, he was stunned himself. So again, it was a very close fight, but the aggression just wasn't enough to finish it off. So that is a pretty big timer in Tiffin's favor, so we'll see how Marietta can come back from this.
Yeah, I think Marietta was just expecting the Widowmaker to continue to work. The Ashe was just getting so much more value. Now that Widow has 25 less HP, it's just so much harder for her to find value, especially against dive characters like the Wrecking Ball. So Marietta was unable to... Every time they pulled out that Widowmaker, they weren't able to get a pick off of it, and were just immediately taken down by the Wrecking Ball. So against teams that don't have quite as good of a Wrecking Ball, this could be working a lot better. But with the current composition Marietta's running up against, they're gonna be switching back over to the Sombra, it seems. Marietta coming out here with more of the same. However, Granny Tsunade was teasing the Brigitte. He's gonna be switching over to the Moira at the last second. So big anti comes out, anting Brimstone and as at 1 HP, is going to get healed up by Tsunade though. So lucky for Marietta there. Marietta pushing up the aggression here, only putting one on cart, being the Ana. Questionably falling low, is going to be healed up by the Moira and the Ana. Brimstone falling low as well, it could be a potential dive on him, or it could just be the Ashe coming out at long range. Marietta still pushing up the aggression here. Big ultimate charge from Questionably so far, already at 60%. That's absolutely massive. Could be coming up on a Shatter in this team fight. Going to be getting very aggressive on the opposing Reinhardt, just able to take him down immediately. A hack is going to be coming out onto the Moira. Neptune not going to be able to get out before he's able to escape. Questionably has fallen as well, but Azadel able to avenge his fallen teammates, taking down Epic Evan. Harmful Hades falls as well. The early grab comes out, however, from Azadel. Absolutely massive ult charge there. Is going to be able to cancel the ultimate of the Moira before being taken down himself. Marietta building ults up very quickly there.
Yeah, we do see the Shatter available as well as the Nano. They can Nano Ryan and get a good fight off. I'm excited to see how that goes, but the grab from Azari could counter it a decent amount, especially with the A-bot from the ball, which is a huge problem for Marietta recently, so we'll see how it goes.
Neptune is going to be switching over to the Ashe, trying to get the same value, trying to get more value out of the Ashe. The big ultimate comes out, but is going to be countered almost immediately. However, Questionably is going to be falling off the back of it. Shatter blocked by the bubble of Azadel. Marietta forced back as the Bob comes out as well, but not really losing too many members, and with the spawn advantage here, they're going to be in a much better position to just wait out that Bob. Marietta immediately putting on the aggression. Azadel building up some of that charge on his damage. Already nearly fully charged, it seems like. Questionably coming in. Graviton comes out. Shatter comes out, finds 3, the Nano on him as well. Hades there to wrap up on the fallen members of Tiffin. Granny Sonate also finding a kill as well. Neptune wrapping up one more. Marietta absolutely dominating in this team fight so far. Zepsi going over to the Wrecking Ball just to try and touch here potentially, but Marietta learned from on King's Row. They have 3 on cart here. Not gonna let that be the reason why they don't capture this first point.
We see 3 alts getting dumped into that fight, so we'll see how it's going to work out for them in the following fights, because we do see a Beam, a Nano, and potentially a little bit later another Bob coming up for Tiffin.
Neptune with an early pickoff here. Marietta could get aggressive here, as they have been all game. Marietta able to find another pick as well. It's starting to get rolling here. Questionably falling a bit low, but it's going to be healed up by the Moira. Azil trying to get that Graviton Surge, does have it ready, is pushing aggressively here, also fully charged on his damage, so an absolutely massive amount of damage can be pumped out here from this core of Ride and Zarya. Questionably is going to fall, but Graviton comes out in response, is able to take down 2 off the back of it. Brimstone as well, taking down 1 more. Azil with 3 there in that team fight, make it almost 4 if he can get this Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball anti-slep. Everything going into that Wrecking Ball is able to get away. Hades, however, is able to take down Epic Evan. Marietta now holding these doors where Tiffin could be coming from. Marietta in a very advantageous position here, coming in with nearly 3 minutes on the time clock. Trying to get some early pickoffs here. Azadil questionably working well together, able to take down 1. Azadil gets another pick, questionably with a second. Bob comes out as well. Marietta just wrapping up this third point, or the second point here, very quickly. If they're able to take down this Wrecking Ball, which they are, they're going to be coming into this with nearly 2.5 minutes in their time bank, and are getting another extra 1.5 minutes onto it. Marietta saw the time bank of Tiffin and said, that's cute, let me show you a real time bank here. If they're able to very quickly push into this third point, could be an absolutely massive time bank for both sides. Marietta getting aggressive here. Azadil fully charged, is 80% on his Graviton Surge, make that 90, absolutely charging that up insanely fast. Questionably drops the Shatter. Marietta coming out with more ultimates, questionably finds 3 kills coming out for Marietta. Looking like Azadil is lagging quite a bit there. Doesn't seem to matter too much, however. Questionably the only one to fall there. Marietta getting 3 picks of their own. So very interesting team fight there for Marietta.
Yeah, thought I might have been something wrong with protection or something along those lines, but he just stands there as the entirety of Tiffin is just obliterated. So he also has his grab still, and that can be really useful for the following fight. It's the only alt currently available right now. We'll see how it goes for the rest of them.
Yep, 3 big ultimates for Marietta. Bob is going to be used to engage, sends the Shatter up, flying, is going to be able to follow up on that. 4 big picks coming the way of Marietta. They're going to be setting an absolutely massive time bank of their own in response. Marietta now getting a full team wipe, essentially. DeWatt switching over to the Diva just to try and touch and recontest. Zepsi likely switching over to the Wrecking Ball. Are not going to be able to touch with a massive boop there from Neptune, using that coach gun just to deny any sort of recontest from DeWatt. Absolutely massive plays there from Marietta.
Yeah, that's just a slightly larger time bank in Marietta's favor, and that's just very, very well done. I mean, like, even though like the Reaper ult was just denied immediately by Azadil. It was insane. Like, the Reaper was in the back line. He was going to get this ult onto a shattered teammate. It was going to be really good for Tiffin, and then he's just dead out of nowhere. He starts the ult and just boom, he's just done for. It's insane. Like, the amount of ult denial there by Marietta was really what won them that part of the push. So that was very, very well done.
Ready for battle.
Yep, Marietta coming out with the exact same composition that worked so well for them. The Ashe is going to be able to get a lot more value than the Widowmaker with the extra health and the extra utility in their kit.
Attackers incoming.
It's going to be interesting to see how this defense goes now that Marietta seems to have found their rhythm here.
Yeah, hopefully that coach gun can help out booping away the ball if it tries to get a little bit extra aggressive onto Neptune, if he tries to get any picks off in a similar fashion to Widow up top, and we'll see how that's going to perform for them.
Yeah, looking like it could be a dive coming out from Tiffin. However, they have teased us before and then immediately switched up. But it's looking like this is what's going to be staying for this attack here. The Soldier 76 pick here is very interesting. Recently got buff so that there's no spread on his fire, but there is a recoil. So being able to control that recoil is going to be very important here for DVNX. Marietta holding this corner here, just trying to get some early pickoff potential here. The big dynamite coming in, giving Neptune some charge. Is going to be quickly taken down, however, as both tanks are committed to diving him. Dewat does lose the mech, so that's a very good response from Marietta. Questionably does fall, however. Sanade falls. Hades is able to clean up one more pick, but as the rest of his team falls around him, Marietta is going to have to regroup here. Marietta very quickly losing that team fight, but they still have a chance to recontest here.
Yeah, the Diva was being taken out immediately before, which was a good initial pick for Marietta, but as you can see, like, just more picks happened in Tiffin's favor, so that was very well done.
And Marietta wrapping around here, switching over to the Brigitte. Very interesting pick. Is going to be punished, though. Trying to get those stuns to prevent the dive, but is immediately dove before he can even do anything with the Brig. Zipsy with 3 kills there. Absolutely big plays from the Wrecking Ball there. Gonna need more than just a Brigitte stun there. Zipsy with a 5k there. Absolutely massive plays from the Wrecking Ball. Neptune is going to be switching over to the Sombra in an attempt to counter it. Very interesting pick there. Brimstone also swapping. Neptune immediately taken down, however, by the Wrecking Ball. Very aggressive plays there. Able to catch him out before he can even get anything done there. The Wrecking Ball is going to fall, but not before deploying the minefield, which is going to take down Sanade. Dewat is also out of mech, so now no tanks for the side of Tiffin. But Zipsy is going to be able to get the fight very quickly. Marietta going to have to be playing this corner very aggressively with only 1 ultimate online for them, being the Graviton Surge, which is a big one, but there's 2 counter ults with the support ultimates that Tiffin has that they can use in response. Coalescence comes out early, so the beat is going to be the only thing in response. Grav comes out, finds a couple members, but not going to be followed up on very well. Marietta trying to get some pickoffs here. Able to take down 1, but 2 fall for Marietta. Hades gets the revenge kill, however. Hades popping off with 2 kills. Zipsy's going to be trading out Sonata, however. Hades with a 3rd kill there. Azadel getting a kill of his own as well. Zipsy's going to be able to take down questionably, but Hades has built up his ultimate enough to take down the Wrecking Ball. And Harmful Hades just clutching that team fight there for Marietta with 4 kills there.
That was insane, yeah, like, if, like, Harmful Hades, he just gets so many picks off, he knows that he's able to do it, just gets the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, he's like, you know what, I got my ult, it's overtime, just spend it. And that's exactly what he did, just to finish off and clean up the point, make sure that it's absolutely squeaky clean and there's no enemies on it. Gets the final contest and makes sure that the card is moving no further than it currently is. And now Marietta has 2 minutes and 21 seconds to get to those 5 points and potentially wins this map.
Yeah, Marietta gonna have to capture this first point pretty quickly if they want to be able to get to this 2nd point as quickly as Tiffin has. Marietta gonna be running pretty much the exact same thing, but this time with a Mercy pocket onto the Ash potentially. Could be interesting to see how that works. A very similar coming out as well for Tiffin. So interesting to see the different styles that both teams are running with here.
I'm admiring the soldier pick by DVN as well. Like, I really think that he can be really useful now that I think he would be really powerful for countering like a Pharmacy now that there is really not that big of an issue with the spread anymore. He can just target someone easily, and his ultimate is now just it has always been very good, but now it's just, he's a lot more viable on the ground without his ult.
Marietta coming out of the gates here, getting 1 man on the cart, pushing up aggressively here. Azadel trying to get some work here, trying to get some early charge, build up that damage. Fire Strike is going to be eaten by Dewat. Wrecking Ball coming in for the dive attempt, uses the pile driver, and that is the go signal for the rest of his team. However, Dewat is going to be taken out of mech immediately. Neptune does fall, but with questionably Brimstone falling as well, Hades falls as well. That's 2 picks for the Wrecking Ball. Going to have to do something about this ball, but Marietta looking like they're going to be sticking with what they've been going with here. Holding up very close to the spawn doors, questionably is going to fall, just not able to get enough healing. Neptune is going to be switching over to the Sombra now in an attempt to counter the Wrecking Ball more hardly. Brimstone sticking with what he's got. DVNX falls, however, this could be the go button for Marietta with the Moira falling as well. Neptune finding 2 very early pickoffs here. Gonna be very big for Marietta to get this point control again. Neptune with a 3rd kill. Absolutely massive play so far, just wrapping up the kills for the rest of his team. Very big play so far from Neptune on this map.
60 seconds.
We do see with a minute remaining that they are rapidly approaching a destination.
Grav comes out, finds 2. Marietta able to capitalize on it, taking down the Lucio, taking the mech out as well. However, Hades is going to fall, questionably with 2. With one swing of the hammer, I believe. Hades is going to get rezzed by Brimstone. Marietta pushing into this first point with 37 seconds remaining. Now all Marietta has to do is push that last 46 meters, but Tiffin is in a very good position to recontest here. They have 3 ultimates, almost all of their ultimates ultimately, and questionably has his Shatter. Valk is online. The EMP could be absolutely massive from Neptune. Hades is also approaching his Death Blossom. He has been having some pretty big plays with that so far. Minefield comes out trying to zone out Marietta. 1 ult used. Coalescence comes out. That's 2 from Tiffin so far. Questionably taken down before his Shatter can land. Neptune popping his ultimate, able to cancel the shield. Hades with a massive 3k, make that 4, able to take down the mech. Absolutely massive plays from Hades. He is single-handedly carrying this last team fight for Marietta, two rounds in a row. If he can take down these last remaining players for Tiffin, a team kill bell does ring out. Unlikely that Tiffin is going to be able to recontest in time. Hades with an absolutely massive Death Blossom there, just coming in the clutch for Marietta yet again on this second point. The hack comes out. The Death Blossom comes out though. Is not going to be able to find any. Marietta being very respectful of that Death Blossom, backing away, able to take down the final pickoffs there. Shield comes out. Diva Bomb gets nothing. Marietta very well executed there on Havana and able to win their 2nd map of the series.
That was very well done. Yeah, I really like how that was executed. I was getting a little bit worried at the beginning of the fight, and then Hades just brings it back up with a 3k from his Blossom. Surprised it's not play. However, Asdale is getting a ton of kills on his own. Hades and Asdale have been performing incredibly well against you, just being able to lead his team into the action. That was an incredible play. Just very, very, very.
This is just Hades' play, but Azadale gets credit for it for some reason. But
all right,
get a couple extra picks at the end, but yeah.
Yeah, so great job there by the Pioneers. Unfortunately, we have to get our League of Legends match started with Shrine, and that score is not correct. It should be 2-1, so I apologize that the score is not updated there yet. It should be 2-1, but we are going to have to go switch to our League of Legends match. Shrine has waited very patiently, but we're unfortunately not going to be able to see the conclusion of this, but as soon as we know the results, we will get that to you. So give us a minute as we transition over to our League of Legends game. But yeah, as we know the conclusion of the Overwatch match with Tiffin, we will get that to you guys. We apologize, but Trine has been waiting, and I thanked him so much for waiting for it, but we do have to get that game started up. So give us a minute here. We'll be back, and we'll have League of Legends to you in just a minute.